Which celebrity got cancelled and you genuinely felt bad for them? By Ask Reddit.
Corey Feldman. He was the first who told everyone what was really going on with child actors in Hollywood and no one listened. Barbara Walters accused him of lying.
Barbara Walters should have been cancelled for that poo. What a garbage human, blaming the victim of child sexual abuse. She didn't even just accuse him of lying, she framed it as he should cover it up to protect the perpetrators so their careers don't take a hit. Barbara Walters should have been cancelled for that poo. It's not too late.
Can you get someone cancelled from a nursing home?
My boy Brendan Fraser got blacklisted after being molested by a higher-up in the movie industry. Wife divorced him, taking his money too. After all the joy that man has brought us, he got the short poo-covered side of the stick. Edit: to all those who wish to know who did that to him, it was a man named Philip Berg, an ex-president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Associations.
I wasn't aware of the sexual assault. When did that happen? I thought he has stopped working because of his divorce and alimony costing him damn near his whole fortune, on top of raising a special needs kid. He's starting to pick up more roles, though, which is always great to see.
Back in 2003, he got groped by the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Damn, right at the top of his game too. And I'm sure that was intentional, made it more of a power move than anything else. Gross. Thanks for the info. Do you know their name? We should always name predators. Don't let them hide behind their temporary titles.
r/saver Brendan.
Thank you. Just joined.
Watching Doom Patrol gave me hope that Brendan will come back to us.
I may boot to go watch Doom Patrol now because you said he was in it. I absolutely adore Brendan Fraser and I hate how he was F-ed over in Hollywood.
Great effing show.
Brendan Fraser, the man was groped by Hollywood exec Philip Berg and spoke out about it long before #Me Too. They instantly cancelled him and we never got to see him again till only recently. His mom also passed away shortly after he got sexually assaulted.
Read an interview of his not long ago and he's also really banged up from doing a lot of his own stunts.
Can I add Shelley Duvall to the list? Was in a string of great Robert Altman films in the 1970s, and did her own string of cable shows in the 1980s, Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater, Tall Tales, and Legends, and Bedtime Stories. Also, she did a few musical albums, and even created some computer games in the 1990s, like A Bird's Life and A Dog's Life. There is way more to her than Wendy Torraine in The Shining. Now, she is completely forgotten, except when people call her crazy or something. She deserves way better in my opinion.
How could you forget one of her most iconic roles as Olive Oyl in Popeye? Hayden Christensen did nothing wrong. No actor should be maligned for decisions made by the writers and director. https://www.indiewire.com/2020/12/ George Lucas defends Star Wars prequels against dialogue complaints 123460495/.
The same goes for Jake Lloyd, who played young Anakin. Toxic fan culture ruined his life.
You'd think starring in a big Hollywood movie would have made him the most popular kid in school, yet it did just the opposite. The bullying and media spotlight were too much to handle and he quit acting soon after. Now as an adult he's a diagnosed schizophrenic who can only rely on family for support.
Star Wars fans are the effing worst.
No one hates Star Wars quite like Star Wars fans.
I'll be watching his role in Kenobi with great interest. He was not particularly inspiring in the films I saw him in, but he had marked improvement from Attack of the Clones to Revenge of the Sith. With better dialogue and actual direction, I think he has a chance to match or exceed some of his better moments. Glad he's getting brought back in for the show.
I think Hayden actually did a pretty good job with the script and direction he was given. Especially in Rots. His reaction to the news about Padma being pregnant gets made fun of, but I think it's actually a pretty realistic way for him to react.
Agreed. He was doing much better in Sith. I liked his scenes with Palpatine. Hayden comes off as a mouse seeking guidance from the cat, which happens a lot in life.
Amanda Bynes. If you look into the reality of how creepy and awful Dan Schneider was, it all starts to make sense. Video about him, Amanda, and others, https://youtube.b/bibutjapevd8.
Amanda Bynes and all the child stars break my heart. They were so young when they came to stardom, not at all of their own accord, and just basically were cash cows. I'm never surprised when they are grown and exhibit unstable symptoms or disorderly conduct, because what else do they know?
There should be a watchdog agency for abuse and /or unhealthy environment for mental development for young actors and actresses in Hollywood, and keep managers, agents, producers, directors and other actors accountable. Every year we hear about these horrible things happening to these people, and nothing seems to be done to prevent it and protect them before it's too late.
The only good thing for child stars is, at least on paper, their parents can't take the money they earn, thanks to the Coogan's Law. Basically, the first child actor made so much money he could have retired, but once he turned 18, he found out his parents spent it all behind his back and he was penniless. He went to court over it, and it led to the founding of the Coogan's Law, which says that any money a child actor makes goes to a trust and neither they nor their parents can touch it until they turn 18.
Well, Britney Spears' father managed to take the money and still does. #free Britney.
And lost his case yesterday.
Good news, everyone.
It's a step in the right direction, but the fight is far from over. He still is a co-conservator over Britney's finances. Not to mention, his legal fees are paid by Britney's estate.
I am rooting for Amanda Bynes. I have been to hell and back with bipolar disorder, and it truly disrupts your life. But it's not everything. I can't imagine having paparazzi follow me and comment on my hair and weight like they do with Amanda.
Being bipolar sucks so damn bad, I'd never wish it even on my worst enemy. I'm finally stable after pretty much wasting all of my 20s. I'm 30 going on 31 this year. The fear of not knowing whether my current mood is legit or just another episode haunted me for so long. I was always afraid of feeling good or being happy because I didn't want to go into mania. I have burned so many bridges because of my stupid behavior. Same cycle of getting promoted /raise, then fired or quit. Getting as /BS in class, then dropping or failing classes. Doing good relationship-wise, almost getting married, then just straight up lose interest of anything. I can't imagine having all that attention on you from stardom and how much worse it must affect their mood swings.
I feel like she's in a situation a lot like Britney Spears is. I feel so bad for her and I really hope that she gets help she needs.
Britney Spears. She didn't even get cancelled, she just had her reputation smeared all over primetime TV, and then the courts decide that her reaction to being systematically erased from relevance was crazy.
I was around middle school age when she had her breakdown, and I have clear memories of teachers I really respected and looked up to making fun of her shaving her head and stuff. It's amazing how little sympathy we as a whole has for victims and the mentally ill.
I've been following this story for a while and watched some docs on it recently. I see two issues at play. One, Britney legitimately has some mental health issues. She has, of her own accord, sought treatment at times. That being said, we have two. Her current situation, despite her mental health trouble, is inappropriate and exploitive. Her father is using her bona fide mental health trouble to extend his control over her in an unwarranted manner.
I would add the abuse of the paparazzi as well. I was surprised by the number of people following and harassing her at all times. Sometimes up to 200 people.
Ashley Judd. Harvey Weinstein blacklisted her for years. She's an incredible actress, Imo.
Myra Sorvino, 2. She went from one of the most in-demand actresses after winning her Oscar, to being completely blacklisted because Weinstein was telling anyone who'd listen that she was a diva and impossible to work with. When Peter Jackson was still making Not Our through Miramax, Weinstein told him not to hire Judd or Sorvino, and Jackson believed him. Even when the movies eventually moved to New Line Cinema, he still believed what Weinstein had told him, and wouldn't work with them. When Me Too started snowballing, Jackson remembered what Weinstein had told him about the two and apologized to them for it.
I went to a luncheon where Myra Sorvino talked about her experiences with Weinstein. It was horribly tragic and disturbing. He destroyed her career and she very nearly avoided being raped by him. It was heartbreaking to hear. He is a monster and horrendous person.
I think you mean Ashley Judd. Naomi Judd is her mom.
Apparently she's in the ICU right now because she broke her leg in the Congo.
She really broke it, too. As in, they had to work to save it. She tripped over a tree root in a Costa Rican the Congo and shattered it in 4 places. Nerve damage too. Edit, was off by a little bit.
A Congo rainforest in Africa. She volunteers twice every year.
Paul Reubens.
As an 80s kid who loved Pee-wee's Playhouse, remembering how my parents tried to explain Paul Reubens getting cancelled is hilarious. My dad told me he took off his clothes in a movie theater and kid me was like, wow, that's really weird, but I guess he is kind of crazy.
At the time I remember thinking, isn't that what P theaters are there for? Now, when I look back on the incident, I think, isn't that what P theaters are there for?
Yep, I think I was 12, and same. Isn't that what people do in those places?
Exactly, there aren't a ton of those places around anymore, but no one goes in an adult video arcade thinking that folks are just looking then running home to finish their business.
He was on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune this past Thursday and I was happy to see him. He looked well.
Dude got lambasted for jerking in a P theater. The F else are you supposed to do there? Watch the plot? Puritan ass Boolpa country we have here. LOL edit. Hey, next person who wants to be like, but he's a kid's character, maybe read the other replies.
I can't help but laugh at the idea of that particular undercover cop's daily routine. Mother Fur hangs out in a P theater, waits for someone to jack off, and then arrests them. Effing unreal.
Someone else pointed out that laws like this were specifically created to target gay dudes, so it makes a lot more sense in that context, unfortunately.
This probably won't get seen, but the guy from The Dude You're Getting Adele commercials got fired and blacklisted over WD. Not a celebrity really, but still bogus.
Yes, thank you. Upvoted. I don't know how many people realize this, but that ad campaign was one of the most effective in US history. He was really popular and recognizable. And then he smoked WD or something, and got arrested and vanished. I remember thinking, don't 99% of celebrities smoke WD?
Yes, and 75% of Dell users do too.
That number is probably higher for other brands. WD had a reputation for being a gateway D-dash.
Winona Ryder.
That feels like one of the first big cancels of the internet age. Glad she was able to rebound with Stranger Things.
I love how tame stealing sounds when people are getting accused of rape left and right. This is a good one. Glad she's uncancelled.
Steve Cooley, LA County putting like a dozen detectives and attorneys on her shoplifting case, while rapes and murders were going unsolved right and left, was such a farce.
Right, the 90s00s feel weird at what was considered horrific behavior at the time.
I was just talking to someone about how insane it was that she got cancelled for being caught stealing. Yes, it's a crime, and she should have received some kind of disciplinary action, but I think she was in a dark place mentally. I also feel like as far as crime or bad behavior goes, it wasn't like she was smashing hotel rooms or assaulting people or anything like that. I just always felt like they saw a mentally ill and fragile woman in Hollywood and wanted us all to think it was vile for some reason.
Not to go all pop psych here, but I think the public perceived that it was a mental health issue, since she was so rich and didn't need to steal, and that's precisely why she was ostracized. We're not great now, but society back in the 90s was much worse about dealing with any kind of mental health problems.
Just look at Britney.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.